Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Antoine here. In this video we'll have a tour in Qatar's new Venetian style zone, and we'll have an interesting engineering and architectural discussion about it. So the tour will be in the Pearl, Qatar, in a place called Qanat Quartier. But before going through it, I want to say something. Make sure to watch this video to the end in order to discover this beautiful place and to see what about my next video, where I will be debunking one crazy myth about Venice's buildings and will add it to my playlist, The Truth. What, you still haven't checked this playlist? Go ahead, check it out right now, or wait to finish this video and then go ahead. Look at this magnificent place, the buildings calmly filling the canvas with their playful colors. Those buildings low-rise and carefully sitting near each other without seeing one abruptly higher than the other, thus having all these structures flowing comfortably in the landscape. It feels like a different version of the Venetian architecture, even though there are similarities. But when you see the Venetian Gothic style and some of the architecture there, you don't get the same Renaissance and Gothic vibes that you feel from facade and other architectural elements. Here, it is more of a vibrant, colorful architecture. The ornamented corbels appearing to support these wonderful balconies, projecting towards the water canal and reminding us of the verandas and the Lebanese traditional architecture. And if this element doesn't remind you about it, then the rich use of arches for windows and galleries looking like you walk will remind you, or else the metallic or the stone balustrades will do. And if all these don't work, then perhaps you should watch my video about Lebanese traditional architecture, so you would get my point. It is important to remember and note that I stated in the mentioned video that the famous three-arched windows in the Beiruti architecture originated from Venetian arches. I mean, this is so beautiful. You can see the extreme connection with the Lebanese traditional architecture by matching some elements and seeing the evolution of them and other elements in the construction industry in different zones and times. Observing or even just looking at these buildings, you can notice that there's a big number of windows, an amazing source of light. Just imagine the light that could be getting in there. Houses with good quantity of natural lighting are healthier places to live in, and tend to keep a better feel for the homeowners. The fantastic symmetry that is created between the right and left side of the magnificent man-made river, where people and tourists can go for a tour in small boats, feeling some more Venetian vibes. You can see how the whole project is iconic. And don't forget the arched bridges that are linking the two sides, having an arched form and synchronous with the buildings in its exterior finishing. It has a minimum elevation as a clearance for the boat passengers. But what if I told you they are constructed in a shape that optimizes their structural strength? And in life, we see them coming in different forms and shapes, and formed by different structural elements. Do you want to know what are the major factors determining that? Comment below if you want me to make a video about it. So what's special in here isn't just the buildings, it's the context of soil properties or building interior square footage. The entire landscape does seem attractive, well designed and executed. That extreme synchronicity is the feature that makes this place so exquisite. Now another clear difference between Venice and Qanat Quartier is that Venice has a number of its buildings situated directly in contact or near water, which makes not just a visual difference, a functionality and usability difference, like accessibility for the buildings, and having this wide or a pedestrian walkway that has quite the width between canal and buildings makes Qanat more pedestrian friendly, along with an engineering difference in structural and geotechnical engineering where the foundation and structural elements can be to a bigger distance from the water canal and making a great difference in the design and construction of these buildings. The lighting and decorations make this place or community homey and cozy. With the creative shapes of animals of different sizes, everything looks like there's a big effort to make gatherings possible. I mean, this is a place where you imagine taking your kids to, or to come with your friends, or with your lover. I mean, there doesn't seem to have any age barrier. And that's exactly what makes a good feature for Qanat Quartier. The fact that it is receptive for all ages, while the animals made with the lighting are eye-captivating for kids. The presence of the shops and clubs can help adults spend and enjoy their time. All of these, of course, combined with the iconic Venice-like elements described before, that are attractive regardless of the age of the person. Now, something to know about the Pearl Qatar is that it is a reclaimed land, so it was a part of the sea. It wasn't constructed or done with the usual techniques for land reclamation, like the one used in other Gulf areas. Techniques like spraying the dredge to spoil, a method named rainbowing technique, but they used cofferdams and claimed that they have used environmental friendly techniques to complete the job. Do you want to know what are cofferdams? You know the drill. Comment below and let me know. Slope proofing is used in here, which is typical for zones that could get cold and rainy. Now we know Qatar is far from being considered from these, but guess which city is Venice, right? Which the whole goal or idea is to make the Venetian theme here in Qatar. But that point alone can be so controversial between those who think that architecture should always represent or be an expression of the location it is in, from a context of country, city or village or specific location, and sometimes be a part of the nature it is in, and those who think that architecture shouldn't be bound to a certain enclosed area where it can be free and used to experiment or to make a transformation or to rebel sometimes on the land. To build such a project and make it a reality, many problems are dealt with. Thankfully, with engineering, things can be realized, controlled, and solved. In these types of plans, environmental engineering takes an important part due to the big change on all the natural elements and life present in the location. And one important thing from big scale projects is the social factors. Just like in this video, the second most asked question in transportation. You can click above in order to see it. When I said that in road locating and design, there are social factors to be taken care of. But here in Qatar, these factors for this specific zone have an interesting flair too. Before continuing, it is important to know that in Qatar there is a huge number of expats, and while in the Pearl, this is one of those projects aimed to let expats buy and finally own real estate here. So you can see how social factors might have been played out. And as Qanat Quartier being considered another version of Venice and a mini one, both Qatar citizens and residents can enjoy the place and can be reminded a little bit of their time there and their memories in Italy without the need to fly. And specifically for expat residents, it would look like a distinctive area with a distinctive architecture and as a beacon of hope in this country where they will finally feel like owners in it for a relatively long time, considered as an incentive to extend their stay. The thing that wasn't possible in the past does need an architecture that wasn't here in the past. Imagine having all these advantages while attracting more tourists. And you know, as an engineer, it is always beautiful to see projects or stuff like that and even be part of it. Because in these extreme cases, you see how seemingly impossible ideas can be solved with engineering, like bringing a whole European city to a Gulf country. And how without engineering, they are just problems yet to be solved, or just dreams. Now your turn, what is your opinion and what do you think urban planning or city planning projects should express? Let me know down there in the comment section. Finally, regarding my next video, a very famous question about Venice buildings. Are they floating? Watch the truth about it in my next video, subscribe and turn on the alert button.